Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. James Sharmack here. So, a little while back I got a comment on one of my videos asking me about the Super Kaiju from Super7. And, well, we'll do another one today. We're doing the Godzilla -1 Super Kaiju. This is called the Train Biter. So, let's take a quick look at the box. Nice art there. Got some nice color going on. Nice text going on there. Nice logo of the movie on the back. Godzilla -1. Little window there. Going to the top. Window right there. Box is a little broken, but it is what it is. It's been around here since October. So let's finally get it done today and take a look at the figure. So, anyways, like I said, I was asked what a Super Kaiju is. So here's the answer. So this is your regular Super7, the Ultimates, about 9 inches or so. This is your reaction figure. I don't have the -1 one, but this is the Imperial Godzilla 84, and this is your Super Kaiju size, like more towards the reaction than it is towards the Ultimates. So, anyways, thought that hope that answers your question. Okay, so looking at the figure, I gotta say it does look better than some of the other figures I've seen in this wave or this size. I think the tail looks a little bit better, but it could be longer. But the tails have been definitely shorter than what I'd like. But probably like I said, I would love it if it was longer. But anyway, still has some nice detail on the figure. The head itself looks pretty solid. Has nice texture, nice paint apps all over it. I do like the the Godzillas that are flame, or have that flame effect to it, so it stands out a little bit more. But still, got some nice detail, paint apps, whatever you want to call it. Nice. The eyes look pretty solid on it. So, pretty cool looking figure. I bought them at a discount. I guess Target had them for $11. Go for about $35. But, take advantage of any sale you can, obviously. So, anyways, he's a train biter. So, we're going to open up the jaw. And he's going to bite the train. So, that's called Destiny Fulfilled. Anyways, let's take a look at articulation. Head doesn't, go back and forth, but turns kind of side to side. As I said, jaw opens up and back. Arm goes up and down. Can go up like that, go back down. It's a little hard to bend, but the elbow bends a little bit. Turn at the elbow too, so got that. No articulation at the chest or diaphragm. Legs can move back and forth like that. Can move a little bit out. Has articulation at the knee and the ankle, and rotation at both. Tail has one point of articulation, but it's got a bendy wire, so you can move it. So that's not too bad. I've the other ones have like worse bendy wires going on, so that's all right. And for a quick comparison, I grabbed the Bandai Namco action figure set we've already done. I like this one a little bit more. Just he has more detail, kind of pops out a little bit more texture. But I do like how this one has more articulation to them. Like I've said before with these figures, for $35 you could probably put a couple more things in here, give them a movable neck, give them like a longer tail. Then I think it would be a lot more worth it, so as far as I'm concerned. But I digress. And just for comparison, I pulled out the other two Godzilla Super 7s I have. The Burning Godzilla and Godzilla 89, I think it is. I'm probably wrong. We'll probably have to check. But anyways, I think that this one obviously looks better just because these other two just look like short, stubby versions of the regular one, and Super 7's kind of made it, no secret that they've, based these figures off the actual computer files from Toho. So I do like that one a bit more than these two. So if you like, either one better, let me know. So all in all, I think this is probably the best Super Kaiju figure they've done so far. Nice detail on it, nice texture. Dorsal fins are pretty solid. Like I said, I wish that they would, expand the tail a bit more. I wish they could, do a little bit more with the articulation, because, I'd love it if something like this with this kind of detail, you could really put in some crazy positions, but it's kind of limited with what it is. But still, like I said, it looks fantastic. I've always been critical about this line, but, this figure itself is pretty solid. And, can't go wrong when he's chewing on a train, am I right? So, $35. I don't know. I might justify it just this once, just because it looks pretty solid. Shoot. We'll see what else. I know they've come out with a whole bunch, a couple other ones. We'll see what. I might take a look around, see. But right now, happy with what I got. The collection's going to grow. I have a couple. I got a couple of Godzilla burst figures coming. I have a Hayag toys coming. So looking forward to reviewing those. Might see about getting some more monster series. See how that goes. There's a couple I have my eye on that I kind of want to take a look at. But I'm always happy to have a Godzilla figure. I don't really care price wise. If the figure looks close enough to pass for Godzilla, I'll be happy. So and I did buy this for $11, so ecstatic. So anyways, like I said, I do wish the articulation was a bit more. I could always use one or two more effects to it, to like maybe a building or two. Maybe I know that the other figures have had buildings, but anyways, we'll put that back later on. This has been a Nerd with J&J. My name is James Sharmack. As always, keep on collecting. Happy hunting.